What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Big thank you for coming back and joining me on another episode of the Arsenal Save. You were with us in the last episode. You would have seen that we didn't go out and sign too many players in the winter transfer window, but the two players that we did sign were of real quality. We signed Goretzka and we signed Sutalo, and we showed you how they were going to slot into the team. Well, today we have jumped forwards. It's the 6th of June 2025, and that means another season is complete. We're going to run you through the schedule. We're going to show you the competitions tab. We're going to look at the finances and what the club think of what we have achieved. And also a quick look at the squad and how it looks going into the next season. So a lot to get through in this one. Let's jump straight in and hit the schedule and the competitions tab. Here we go then, we have jumped into the schedule. So in the last episode, we had worked our way down to the Brentford game, which is here. We won that game 4-1 with goals from Dybala, Odegaard and Kenny. And then we continued on. The next game was against Chelsea in the FA Cup. Unfortunately, that didn't go our way. Paulo Dybala did score for us, but Romelu Lukaku and Kai Havertz scoring for Chelsea meant they went through to the 5th round and we went home. Back in Premier League action though, and we round out February with a good run of form. We beat Fulham 2-1 with goals from Szoboszlai and Odegaard. Hertha Berlin, then we went to Germany and we beat them 4-2 in the UEFA Champions League knockout playoff round first leg. Goals from Odegaard, he got a hat-trick inside 20 minutes. Gabriel Jesus, and then Derrida and Luke Bacchio scoring for Hertha. We then played Aston Villa back in the Premier League, and Schlotterbeck and Gabriel Jesus ensured 3 points in Birmingham before we beat Hertha Berlin at home 4-1 in the Champions League. Dybala getting 2, Odegaard and Gabriel scoring. Leo Ostergaard was sent off after 19 minutes and Lucas Nemeka scoring for Hertha Berlin. Then, back-to-back Champions League games saw us invite Leon Goretzka's former team, Bayern Munich, to the Emirates. And we beat them 1-0. And Leon Goretzka scored the goal. As happens on Football Manager so many times, you see former players popping up and scoring against former teams. And luckily for us, we were on the right end of it this time around. Back in Premier League action though, and we then dropped some points. A 2-2 draw. Raul Jimenez and Mateus Nunes scoring for Wolves. Gabriel Jesus getting 2 for ourselves. And then we crashed out of the Champions League. Despite that 1-0 victory in London, we went to Germany and Sadio Mane basically savaged us in the first half, scoring a 35-minute hat-trick. Paulo Dybala did get one back for us, but it wasn't enough. They went through 3-2 on aggregate. We then played Chelsea in the Premier League, and this time we did better than the FA Cup, but not much better because we got a point. Dybala and Odegaard scoring for us, Lukaku getting 2 goals for them. And then we round out March with a good run of form where we beat Notts Forest 4-1, a Joe Worrell own goal, Gabriel Jesus and Bukayo Saka scoring the goals there. Leeds, we beat 3-0 in the Premier League to round March out. Dybala getting 2 and Bukayo Saka. We then rolled into April in really good form and we went through the whole of April unbeaten. Starting off with a 3-0 victory against Sheffield United. Makoko, who come back from an injury, had been out for about 4 weeks. He came back in style, scoring after 33 minutes. Dybala and Benjamin White getting the other goals there. We then beat Crystal Palace at home 3-1. Goals from Goretzka, Endrick and Gabriel Jesus. Goals against Brighton, we won 2-0. They had 2 men sent off. Moises Caicedo and Alex McAllister getting sent off ensured us 3 points from the get-go, really. Endrick and Gabriel Jesus scoring the goals there. We then beat Manchester United at home. Scalvini and Gabriel Jesus scoring. Mauro Icardi did score for Manchester United. And then the game that everybody was looking forward to, a 4-0 drubbing of Tottenham. Odegaard getting 2, Gabriel Jesus and William Saliba getting the goals. So into May, and now we are right in the depths of running for the Premier League. It's all or nothing at this point. We beat Southampton 2-1, goals from Goretzka and Dybala, James Ward-Prowse scoring for them. We then beat fellow Premier League rivals Liverpool 3-2 at Anfield. Gabriel Jesus, Jude Bellingham and Dybala scoring for us. Ibrahima Konate and Heung-min Son scoring for Liverpool, and Dybala popping up in the 91st minute to win the game. We then Newcastle came to us, on the last day of the season, and we actually lost. We were 2-0 down for a long time in the game. Frimpong then got himself sent off in the 94th minute, and Odegaard did get one back, but it meant that we lost the final game of the season. So let's look at what that means for the competitions tab. It was oh so close in the last episode, and we have ended up winning another Premier League title, 2 points this time, and that is 2 Premier Leagues back to back. So we did it. Play 38, 90 points. Liverpool on 88, City on 83. So we will break that down in just a second. Champions League knocked out in the round of 16. FA Cup was knocked out in the 4th round by Chelsea. Carabao Cup, we got to the semi-finals and was knocked out by Manchester City. So let's break down this Premier League winning season. Firstly, before we concentrate on stats, we're going to go straight to the stages so you can see the breakdown of everything that we have done. Played 38, won 28, drawn 6, lost 4, scored 87 goals by the end of the season, conceded 33, goal difference of 54 and 90 points. And when you compare that to Liverpool, they played 38, won 28 also, drew 4 but lost 6. Had a goal difference of 67 with 92 scored and 25 against, and they had 88 points. So we've won the league by 2 points. We've also cleared Man City by 5 points, and Chelsea and Newcastle both qualified for the Champions League. So 5 teams now qualify for the Champions League, and it means that Newcastle scraped in with 68 points on 1 goal difference better than Aston Villa. So if we go back to the profile of the competition, you can see that in terms of the stats, we weren't overly impressive. It's not like we've got a Haaland up top, but maybe that is something that we need to invest in, because obviously if you stick Erling Haaland in this team, we'd probably be winning the league a lot easier than we are. Lukaku, Nunez and Edouard. Odson Edouard finishing in 4th with 22 goals. Might be one to look at there. In terms of the average ratings, Haaland, Lukaku, Nunez and Son. In terms of assists, Coutinho, Alan St-Maximin, Christian Eriksen and Thomas Lemar. Player of the Match Awards, Lukaku, Haaland, Nunez and Coutinho. Clean sheets, Alisson, Martinez, Mendy and Aaron Ramsdale getting himself 15. Yellow cards, we've got Bukayo Saka in tackles per 90 minutes with 4.02. So that is really impressive. Like I said, he's taken to that position really, really well. But it means after all of that, Arsenal are back-to-back Premier League winners. You can see it in the top right-hand corner above my head. 23-24 winners, 24-25 winners. So we really have done well in terms of the Premier League. Again, it was close going into or coming out of the last episode. We were really, really close at the top, and it was really close between us, City and Liverpool. And it just means that I think, well, it pretty much is. We beat Liverpool 3-2 at the end of the season, didn't we? So right at the bottom down here, yeah, this 3-2 win has effectively won us the league, because it meant that we could even lose to Newcastle on the last day of the season. Let's go through the Champions League and show you quickly how we got on in that. So league phase was a bit mental. We ended up finishing in 12th. Got 14 points from 8 games. And as I said, the top 8 qualify, I think, as seeds. And then the next 8 qualify as their opponents, maybe. So, yeah, I think that's how that phase of the league works. If we go into the knockout playoff round, beat Hertha Berlin 8-3 on aggregate. We go into the round of 16. We then ended up falling 3-2 to Bayern Munich. So Champions League is one that is eluding us. We aren't even really progressing as far as I think we could do. So maybe next season it's time to turn our attentions to the Champions League whilst trying to maintain the Premier League. Now, I know that's going to be difficult, but obviously all the money that comes from winning the Premier League and going far in the Champions League means that we should be able to invest in either a top-notch striker or upgrades at positions that we need, but I can't think of any. I mean, we'll get to the squad at the end, but it really is now coming down to the fact that we just need to add 1 or 2 world stars to this team to make sure we're winning Premier Leagues and advancing in the Champions League. So that's how we've got on. We have won another Premier League. Let's have a little look at the finances and the club vision to see how they have ranked what we have done, and then we will finally show you the squad and look at those areas that maybe we could improve in. So let's have a quick breakdown of the finances then. So overall balance at the club is £126.6 million. We have another transfer budget available of 82 million. So as I said, maybe we just go out and spend that 82 million on one world star. 4.25 available in the wage budget, and 3.7 is committed in terms of the spending. Profit and loss from the last month was minus 35 million, but obviously player purchases and all those kinds of things factored in terms of instalment deals and the ads on for Goretzka, those kinds of things will all factor into that. Looking at the financial fair play, we are on course to pass both of them. Looking at the club vision then, so the board have given us a B+. Guess that's okay. I don't know what we've got to do more really to get a higher score. A little bit surprised it's B+. Thought we might have snuck into the A's, but hey ho. Actionable objectives going forwards then. So work within the wage budget is on course. Sign players to sell for a profit. They're satisfied. Grow the club's reputation. They are pleased. Spend the original transfer budget has popped up now, so they want us to spend the £82 million, it seems. Looking at the supporters then, we've got a B+ from them too. They want us to play attacking football. We're doing that. Play entertaining football. Delighted with that. Play high tempo pressing football. They are pleased. They want us to make the most of set pieces, which is one that I'm not a real fan of. If it works, it works. If not, I'm not going to go chasing set pieces. Is my kind of philosophy. In terms of sport expectations, please be finished above Tottenham. Please be finished above Man United. Become the most reputable team in England. We are on course to do that with back-to-back Premier Leagues. Finish above Chelsea in the league. Reserve judgment. Qualify for the Champions League. So they are pleased with the 3-2 victory against Liverpool. They are very pleased with the 4-0 victory over Tottenham and pleased with the 2-1 victory over Man United. But they're disappointed with some of the signings that we made from our youth intake. So players like Dean Hodges, for some reason, they aren't happy with him. And yeah, there's 1 or 2 other players there that they don't seem favourable of. So job security is only secure, which is okay, I guess. Going forwards, I think that there's a good chance that we'll still be in a job for seasons to come. But looking at it, if we're winning Premier Leagues and we're now going to aim at the Champions League, the save hasn't got too much longer left to go, I will be honest. So it might be a case of walking before we are pushed in terms of that one. But that's the finances and the club vision sorted then. Let's show you the squad planner and see where we plan on improving and what we can do going forwards in terms of the squad. Okay, so let's start off looking at the squad planner then, and this apparently is our best 11 according to Billy McKinley. So we've got Ramsdale in goal, and Mulaney now is our best youth prospect in goal. Left back, Zinchenko and Barco, which is pretty much where I thought we would be. Schlotterbeck and Walters, Saliba and Scalvini, White and Juma is still there in terms of the centre-backs. Bellingham and Andre Santos. We then have on the right Bukayo Saka and Russell Wilson, Goretzka and Patino still in the middle, with Martinelli, Keith Cowell, Odegaard and Jason Hoyt, who is one of our new youth intakes, taking his position there in the purple slot, which is quite something. We might have to keep an eye on that kid. And then up top, Gabriel Jesus and Endrick. If we look at the other style of report, so in terms of the assistant report, you can see that it's Ramsdale, Zinchenko, Schlotterbeck, Saliba and White, Bellingham, Goretzka, Saka, Martinelli, Odegaard and Gabriel Jesus. So that is pretty much our starting 11. If we were to look to try and strengthen somewhere, I mean, Gabriel Martinelli is a fine player, but we could probably get a world star to come in that left wing position. Zinchenko is a fine player also, but again, we could do a little bit better in terms of a left back. Centre backs we have pretty much got covered. Midfield is elite. I think we just need an elite goal scorer, and I think if we go out and try and splash the cash on one, we might be able to push this team to the next level and ultimately challenge for that Champions League that we are looking for. Right then, I am going to wrap this one up here. Firstly, if you're still listening to me at this point, a very, very big thank you. Really appreciate everybody who comes to the channel, supports the channel. If you could hit the like and subscribe button to continue doing that, I would love that. That would be fantastic. Also, before you go, don't forget to check out other things on the channel. We have tips, tactics, Wonder Kids, Let's Plays. There's loads of stuff on the channel. There is something for everybody, I promise. At this point also, I am going to announce that the next season is going to be the final season of the Arsenal save. So we are going to do one more year. The aim is to try and win the Champions League. If we can't win the Champions League, we want to win the Premier League. I think it's been successful so far, but we are going to give it one final push to try and get it over the line to get that trophy. So for this one, I'm going to wrap it there. A big thank you for watching. Come back and join me on the next one when you're going to find out what happens in the summer transfer window.